With the anime adaptation of Tatsuya Endo's Spy Family finally releasing, now might be the most fitting time to talk about the series. While I have the benefit of reading the manga, I can confidently say that the first few episodes have already hit upon the notes that make the series great. If it continues in this direction, I think the anime has a solid chance of being a worthy adaptation for anime-onlys and manga readers alike. For those new to the series, you might wonder, what makes Spy Family great? Well, regardless of anything else I say for the remainder of this video, the true answer is Yor. She's the reason it's great. Lloyd and Yor are two newlyweds, and they're raising an adoptive daughter, Anya. The only catch is, they are a family built on lies, deception, and hidden truths. The Forger household contains a man with top-notch espionage skills, a woman that has more experience in killing than romance, and a child that can read both of their minds. In essence, a spy, assassin, and telepath, none of which can tell their family of their true nature. The only exception being that Anya knows their true identities by nature of being able to read their minds. The circumstances of this family create hilarious scenarios and endless ways to have fun with the concept. For instance, Anya wants to play pretend with Lloyd and Yor, acting as a princess for Lloyd to save and for Yor to defend. Because these two have near superhuman abilities, a simple game of pretend becomes a little more serious. Or how about when Yor imagines taking out a kid to open up a spot for Anya to be admitted to Eden Academy, to which Anya gleefully chuckles to herself. One of my favorite moments is when Anya attempts to read Lloyd's mind for an answer while studying, only to be overwhelmed by the sheer elaboration of his thoughts. She then turns to her mother, but it turns out that Yor's mind is filled with extremely graphic analogies, resulting in Anya throwing in the towel. This is the kind of humor that is built around the concept of three misfits being put into a family. Their traits of being a spy, assassin, and telepath are consistently used to great comedic effect. Generally speaking, Anya's telepathy works as the centerpiece because she is the only one that knows the truth of the family. She is, by a wide margin, the most fun character, and that's mostly because of her reactions to the insanity that is constantly surrounding her. While she can read minds, Lloyd and Yor are far from normal themselves, thus giving her plenty of crazy stuff to react to. It helps that she is an impressionable child that can be easily amazed, shocked, or horrified. The unique ways that these specific character traits play off of each other elevates the characters' relationships. Not only is the situational humor funny, it's also endearing in how their abilities are used to make them grow closer. Anya, once again, is kind of why it works so well. For a couple examples, she uses her telepathy to convince Lloyd to adopt her, and it's what allows her to manipulate Yor into asking Lloyd to be her fake boyfriend. She uses her powers to bring the family together. Not only that, because she knows that her parents are a spy and assassin, she often takes actions that are an attempt to help further their goals. They may never notice, but it's always happening. She reads their minds and then acts accordingly to what she thinks will result in making them happy, leading to both wholesome and funny moments. As the family grows closer and they start making interpersonal relationships, it begs the question, what does it mean to open up and let others into your life? That question is the emotional core, the reason to keep reading from one chapter to the next. Everything within Spy Family is built around that question, from its characterization to the comedy, with Lloyd, Yor, Anya, and the growing cast each furthering the idea that family bonds are something worth building. What sets Spy Family apart from other family-oriented series is how it uses the premise of flashy espionage, ruthless killing, and hilarious mind reading to help cultivate those family bonds. It's a story about a family who hides its true nature, but because of that, these outcasts of society can find a home together. Spy Family has a strong message that anyone can find a home, no matter how different you are. These characters who have to hide their true identities from both the world and each other can still find solace in this family. As the walls begin to come down, it becomes apparent that these characters need each other for more than appearance's sake. While the family was started out of necessity for a mission, their time together starts to become a reason to even continue the work. The Forger family develops a bond through helping Anya study, learning how to cook a meal for the family, taking care of a new pet, and struggling to impress the in-laws. While their family is built on a foundation of lies that masquerade their true reasons for being together, they begin to develop a genuine bond through these experiences. Their ulterior motives are what keep them tied together, but the mundanities of life are what makes it so worth being together. In the opening chapter, Lloyd breaks up with a girlfriend he temporarily needed as soon as the job was complete, so building fake relationships is nothing new to him. It's important to note that Lloyd has never relied on anyone for missions, certainly not anyone outside of the spy profession. For the first time in his life, his job is asking him to do more than use other people. He has to rely on them. He is a lone wolf, someone that typically couldn't ask another person to shoulder the weight. His past relationships were merely tools, but this family, for as fake as it may seem, is the first instance of him having to trust in others. Initially, he sees Anya and Yor as a part of his job, but cracks start to form. Maybe there is something more to this mission than simply completing it. Maybe his family is a little more real than he realizes. Sure, he was required to adopt a family for his mission, but he was never required to enjoy his time with them. As the story progresses, he begins to show signs of legitimately caring for this family. Lloyd is an instantly likable character because it's easy to empathize with his learning process of raising a child or being a good husband, even if it's supposed to be a facade. As he becomes more accustomed to his at-home life, he becomes a better father and husband by way of earnestly striving to make the family happy. The same can be said of Yor, if not even more so. She enters the family for the social benefits, but as time progresses, she begins wanting to be a good mother and wife. It shows that she does want a family, and despite the circumstance, she puts in the effort to be a valuable part of the family. I particularly love her drive to learn how to cook, and how, despite being an assassin, is clumsy with a kitchen knife. It's little details like that which make the characters endearing. She is not only trying to fulfill her role in the family by cooking, she's developing a skill that is unrelated to her assassination work. My favorite parts of the story are when the family can celebrate their achievements together. Whether it's Yor being able to cook a good meal or Anya getting accepted into his school, small victories feel increasingly more substantial. The only reason these characters are trying their hardest is because the others are relying on them. Spy Family is about individuals trying to change for the better to benefit the family. The one that truly brings it all together is, once again, Anya. She is the crux of Lloyd's mission, and maybe more importantly, the emotional glue that holds everyone together. Because she's the only one who knows everyone's identity, she is the only character in the story who can see the family for what it is. They are all trying their best for each other. Lloyd and Yor do everything they can to be good parents, despite their lack of experience, and in return, Anya gives it her all to do well for them. When forgoing the superhuman abilities, there's a sense that these are innately likable and good-natured people. Even if their family is supposedly fake, the feelings behind it are far more real than most families. That's what's great about Spy Family. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you want to follow me on my socials or check out my art, like the animation on screen, links are in the description. Until next time.